All right, let's dive into one of the most hypnotic, scandalous, and downright brilliant novels ever written. Oscar Wilde's masterpiece, The Picture of Dorian Gray. We're going to peel back the layers on this story of beauty, corruption, and a deal that goes horribly, horribly wrong. And we're going right to the source. What you're looking at here is the title page from the 1891 edition of the book. This is the version that really set the world on fire, the one that scandalized and absolutely mesmerized Victorian society. You can just feel the history here. Okay, so to really get this story, you have to understand the mind bomb that Oscar Wilde drops on you before page 1 even begins. He has this preface, this manifesto, really, for a whole movement that basically says art doesn't answer to anyone or anything except for beauty itself. Wilde kicks things off with this simple, almost self-evident statement. The whole point of being an artist? To make beautiful things. That's it. It's not about teaching a lesson. It's not about making a moral point. The job is simply to create beauty. Period. And here's where he really starts throwing punches. He's saying art and morality live in two totally different worlds. I mean, can you imagine how this landed in 1891? He's arguing that you can't call a book good or bad based on its message. It's either well-made or it's not. That's the only thing that matters. And this is the final knockout blow of his argument. Now, when he says useless, he doesn't mean it's worthless. He means it shouldn't do anything. It shouldn't serve a practical purpose. Its only reason for existing is to be beautiful and to be admired. And the craziest part? The entire novel that follows is one big, twisted experiment to see if that idea can possibly be true. So let's get to the story itself. At its heart is Dorian Gray, a young man who is, well, just impossibly, breathtakingly beautiful. And his story, his tragedy, really, all starts with this tug-of-war for his soul between two very different, very powerful men. So on one side, you've got the artist, Basil Hallward. To him, Dorian is this pure, perfect ideal. He's like a muse, something sacred to be protected. But then you have Lord Henry Wotton, and he looks at Dorian and sees a project, a beautiful, empty canvas that he can paint his own dangerous ideas onto. It's a classic battle, the protector versus the corrupter. So, while Basil is just finishing this incredible portrait of Dorian, Lord Henry is right there whispering in his ear. He's not just paying compliments, he's planting this seed of pure terror. He tells Dorian that his beauty is a miracle, but it's a miracle that's going to vanish. One day, he'll be old and wrinkled and horrible. He introduces Dorian to the fear of time. And that fear, well, it just boils over. As Dorian stands there staring at this perfect image of himself on the canvas, this incredible jealousy washes over him. He becomes jealous of his own portrait. And boom, there it is, the wish. In this one desperate cry, he makes a deal without even realizing it. He basically trades his soul for eternal youth, condemning the painting to carry the weight of his life, his age, and all of his sins. I mean, just stop and think about that for a second. You make this wild, impossible wish out of pure vanity and fear, and the universe just goes, you got it. What happens next? The consequences are about to get very, very real. So the wish comes true. Dorian Gray stops aging. But here's the catch. For every sin, for every cruel act, for every dark impulse he gives into, the portrait, which he's hidden away in the attic, is going to change. It's going to absorb all the ugliness, becoming a living record of his soul's decay. And the first time he sees it happen is right after he callously breaks the heart of a young actress, Sybil Vane, driving her to suicide. He goes home, looks at the portrait, and it's there. A tiny new line. A subtle twist of cruelty around the painted mouth. It worked. And in that moment, he's horrified, but he's also incredibly fascinated. This discovery changes everything. He realizes he has a get-out-of-jail-free card for his soul. He can do anything, be anyone, and there will be no visible consequences. So he dives headfirst into this philosophy Lord Henry taught him, the new hedonism. It's a life dedicated to chasing every sensation, every experience, with zero regard for right or wrong. And for the next 20 years, that's exactly what he does. He launches himself into this frantic search for new experiences. On the surface, it all looks very refined. He's studying perfumes, collecting priceless jewels, becoming an expert in tapestries. But it's all just a performance, a way to distract himself. Because underneath that sophisticated veneer, he's sinking into the darkest parts of the city, Rumors swirl about him in opium dens, in back alleys with thieves, all in a desperate attempt to feel something, anything, to make him forget about the monstrosity that's slowly festering in his act. And all the while, he never ages a day. Imagine watching your friends grow old, their hair turning gray, faces getting wrinkled, while you stay exactly the same, as beautiful as you were at 20. He's a living work of art. But upstairs, hidden under a cloth, the portrait is becoming the stuff of nightmares. And this is where it all comes together so brilliantly. Wilde connects the absolute horror of Dorian's life right back to those seemingly abstract ideas he threw at us in the preface. All that talk about art suddenly becomes terrifyingly literal. Remember this line from the very beginning, Wilde's big idea that when you look at art, you're really just seeing a reflection of yourself? Well, Dorian's portrait is the ultimate horrifying proof. It's not just a painting anymore, it has literally become a mirror that reflects the soul of its one and only spectator, Dorian himself. In the end, everything is flipped. The painting has become the reality. It's the diary of his life, the thing that carries the weight of time and sin. And the man, Dorian Gray, he's become the artifice, a beautiful, perfect shell. In Wilde's own words, he has become quite useless, existing only to be looked at, but completely hollow inside. So the novel leaves us chewing on this one, haunting question. What if there was a canvas somewhere that recorded everything? Every secret thought, every selfish act, every moment of kindness, and every flash of cruelty. If that portrait of your soul existed, would you be brave enough to go look at it?